basically human beings.
All right.
Yeah.
And right before I ask you about, this is your second term. It is your last time indeed as governor. I want to know, what agenda you have for this county in this next, less than 5 years. So it's about 4 years now in a moment. But before that, nationally, there's still a lot also happening. As a political leader, I want to get your view on this. It appears the bipartisan talks that were ongoing have sort of stalled at this point. The opposition, which is the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, have now called for mass protests, which we expect to happen on the 2nd of May, which is on Tuesday. We had some strong statements from you today as well on the same. Where do you think the problem is?
Well, I think the problem at the moment is not with the Kenyans per se, including those who are being called on the streets. That's not what the problem is. The problem is with political leaders who do not want to embrace change when it comes. Because there's no way as a country we can perpetually be in the field of politics. We cannot politic 24/7, 365, just when we come from elections barely a year ago. And the issues that are being used at the moment to cause what is supposed to be maandamano, but in my view, it is basically mayhem in the street, is something that could have been resolved when we had the Supreme Court. Because at that particular time, those issues should have been raised.
But there are issues that are quite at the heart of the common mwananchi, the issue of cost of living.
I understand that absolutely. But you never cannot satisfy or make the situation as it is in life perfect. Problems are there all the time. But you don't resolve them by castigating the leaders who are in the office at that particular moment in time. It is better to offer advice because let's, for example, look at the cost of living. The cost of unga has been up there, 280, 200. Now it's below it's below 200. I mean, going for maandamano or inciting the public does definitely not bring the cost down. But I would wish that the people who are doing maandamano can be able to tell us what is that we need to do for us to bring that cost down instead of just maandamano and say bring it down.
But do you agree that these talks should happen?
The talks should happen, but it should not happen on the streets. The way we are going in parliament is the best way because that is where we have the people's representation, as it were. And Kenyans are very hardworking. The route we were taking as Kenya Kwanza, and the president has made it very clear, by providing subsidy program like the one you've just showed done by my government of giving satisfied seed, which I'm happy this time we have good raise. Definitely there will be bumper harvest in this county. And therefore, the shortfall that we had that has been making us import maize, we are going to have plenty of it. When it is available for millers, the cost will come down. Should we disrupt that with the maandamano so that the cost can come down? Definitely not. As for the issue of the demands for opening the servers, which really has been over-transacted, or rather so much has been talked about it. It is neither here nor there, because where to go for that is not on the streets or with the executive. It should be with the IEBC. It should be through the courts. If you look at the other issues that are demanding for including the release of funds for the counties, as governors, we have a way of negotiating for that with the government. Why do you want to go on the streets on our behalf, and you're not even part of Council of Governors? As we talk, the government has done absolutely well because initially we were talking about 4 months delay in disbursement. Now we are talking about March and April. So that means
that's still a lot.
It's still a lot. But it's not as much as it were before, up to 4 months. So the government is doing something about it, and the way to go is not going on the street on our behalf. We have a way of having boardroom meetings, negotiating, talking about it until we come to an amicable solution, a conclusion.
All right. Yeah. Look, you've done quite a lot in this county.